So let's get a tweet out if we could.
Welcome back into the opening line report. Apologies for the technical difficulties here, guys. Drew Martin, Teddy Covers getting back at it. We got 273, 274. We might have already hit this. Not 100% sure where it went out, but we're just going to start from the top. So maybe a little doubling over here. Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders. Teddy, seeing Raiders -2 at most shops, 44.5 being the total. What are you hearing around town? What are we thinking here, Broncos and Raiders?
Yeah, a little power outage in Florida, taking our show off the air here in Las Vegas, unfortunately. But glad we were able to get back on air in a relatively timely fashion. Again, we apologize for the delay. And we still have one more emergency betting alert that's coming up in just a minute. So I wanted to get to it quickly, and we're already losing value on it. Nonetheless, look ahead line here. Raiders -246. My powering number, Raiders -1. Betting markets today is sitting in that -2 range. The total was 46, and it was bet down to 44, and now we're seeing a little bit of buyback to the over. But we have seen some money for Vegas and for the under, certainly off the openers. And look, I mean, there's a lot going wrong in Las Vegas right now. Okay, and when you talk about Josh McDaniels, remember Josh McDaniels went 6-0 to open up as the Broncos head coach back in 2009, and since that time, he's 5-20 straight up as a head coach. And of course, they got the Chiefs coming up next. So if the Raiders don't win this one, it could get ugly. And they suffered a couple of key cornerback injuries yesterday. Rock Ya-Sin, Nate Hobbs both went down in that contest. Of course, they got 6 times they were in the red zone and scored only 22 points. And that may be bad news against a Denver team that has been elite defensively so far this season. They got up 36 points in 3 games. Russell Wilson's quote, "We're still learning each other, a whole new system. There's so much greatness in store. I can't wait for it. But watching our defense battle. Everyone believes in each other, and that's what football is all about." Definitely worth noting, Broncos won a game in which they were gained 3.7 yards per play on offense, plus the return margin went a long way towards getting that victory by a single point. And you have to note, Drew, last time and the only other time in NFL history, a game finished 11-10, November 16th, 2008. That was the Steelers over the Chargers. I actually got in the New York Times for that game. If you remember, way back when, the Chargers on the last play of the game played fumble Ruski. Troy Polamalu picked it up, ran into the end zone, and they discounted the touchdown, which allowed LA to get the money. And there was all kinds of controversy about that one. New York Times quotes Had a couple of them over the years, but they don't come every day. That's one I remember. That's the only other 11-10 game in the modern history of the NFL in the Super Bowl era.
The old 11-10. It's terrible to watch. It's also terrible if you bet the team that only finished 10. And I digress. To the next game. New England Patriots, Green Bay Packers, 4:25 Eastern, 1:25 Pacific kick. 39 to as high as 40 being the total here, Teddy. So low total. I'm seeing open 6.5. Now we're seeing -11 on the Packers. Huge move here, Teddy. What's going on, Patriots and Packers?
Dan, you may as well queue up another emergency betting alert. This is the last one for the show, and obviously most of it's already come, but it's still coming. So let's see what we got. We got. I don't even know. Look at him. The guy's a pro, dude. He's scrambling behind the scenes to get us back on air, and he's still got time to get the emergency betting alert up there. Yeah, look headline was only 6.5, 42.5. My powering number prior to the injury I'm going to talk about was only 6. This morning, the market's open 9 and 42. There's only one way this line is moving. All right. No one's betting New England. It can only be Green Bay money. It can only be under money. They just lost their quarterback. Mac Jones hurt. He's going to be out for a month. All right. Belichick, quote, "You're not going to win turning the ball over in the fourth quarter." They turned it over 4 times in that ball game. -2. And Jones, the very last play of the game, literally has a left leg injury, and he's expected to be out for some time. Brian Hoyer, at this stage of his career, is at the bottom tier of NFL starting backup quarterbacks. I do not trust him to move the football against the Packers defense. That's been great. But, I mean, Green Bay didn't score in their last 9 drives yesterday. They didn't score in the second half against Tampa. They got just a field goal in the second half against the Bears last week. It's not like this offense is clicking on all cylinders. Benny, it's just imagine. Now, Aaron Rodgers against a good defense in Tampa, 2.8 air yards per pass attempt, the lowest you'll ever see. It's all dinky-dunky from Green Bay's offense. So at least it was this past week, and we would expect more of the same against a New England team that tends to be pretty good defensively. You can understand why the money is pouring in on the under. If you're betting the under, if you're betting the Packers, do not wait. Again, you can only go in one direction, the Patriots, without their starting QB, and not a team that's the betting marketplace appears to be enamored with.
2 games left, guys. Sunday nighter and Monday nighter to finish it off here for the opening line report. Next game up, a good one, Teddy. Kansas City Chiefs, Tampa Bay Bucks. Chiefs -2 in the hook. Mostly -3s now popping up. 44 being the total. We get the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Teddy.
And I apologize. I can't tell if this says pick 'em or 1.5. I think that's Chiefs. The look at line was Chiefs 1.5. That's not a pick 'em. I write pick 'em cleaner than that. Look at line was Chiefs 1.5 and 48. My powering number is 3. There were 3s all night. It's gone to 2.5 right now. There are still a couple of 3 out there. What the heck? Let's emergency betting alert it one more time because it ain't going to hold.
One more. Emergency betting alert.
Yeah, I said last time would be the last one. I didn't realize there's enough 3s out there to put it out. Yeah, I mean, if the 3s are all gone, there's no emergency betting alert here. There is still a good handful of 3s on Kansas City in the market to move into 2.5. They like this Buccaneers defense. Yeah, I mean, Tampa's defense has been phenomenal the first couple of weeks of the season. Again, they held Green Bay scoreless on their last 9 drives. The offense is having issues. Tom Brady led the NFL in completions, passing yards, and touchdowns last year. This year, 3 games, 673 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not so much, And again, we're talking about a team that's missing their left tackle. They're missing multiple wide receivers. They're missing, this offense is not clicking. All right, Tom Brady, quote, "Too many plays we were behind the sticks, penalties, turnovers, missed opportunities. The defense played great. We have to do a better job. We haven't scored many points all season." Without Evans, Godwin, and Julio Jones, I don't know if Jones is a factor here, but without your top receivers and your offensive line's banged up, this is going to be a continuing problem. And now you got the Chiefs coming off a loss. A loss that literally the refs were like, "No, you guys don't win. You guys win instead." The defense was dominant. They sacked Matt Ryan 5 times. They allowed only 3.8 yards per play. Mahomes threw his first interception of the season, but he was forcing it downfield on a potential game-winning drive. Quote, whenever you're playing a tough game like this one, you have to execute at a high level. Our schedule gets no easier, so we have to get better quickly. If we don't, the L's are going to start piling up. Urgency from Mahomes. But the play we're talking about was an unsportsmanlike conduct call after, I believe it was a third down sack. That would have, Indy would have had a punt with 5 minutes left instead of getting a first down at 15 yards. And what drew the penalty, again, there was no physical contact with anyone. He wasn't yelling at the ref. He was yelling at the other player. Quote, abusive language. Dude, I drop F-bombs all day, every day. So does every single player on the field, every play.
Yeah.
And for the ref to decide a game that way, again, I had no action on it, but that shouldn't be happening. Nonetheless, early money for Tampa. The -3s may not hold. If you like the Bucks plus the 3, grab it sooner rather than later.
Abusive language. They should be forced to say what the language was. I mean, that
doesn't matter. If you watch the replay, it's stunning, that flag coming out. I mean, you're like, what?
Yeah.
No physically, the guys are talking. John after a play, like everybody does every time. It wasn't even like he got right in his face and was like, blah, 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 No, it was standard. You're over here, I'm over there. Let's, you suck, no, you suck, whatever they say. But this one drew a 15-yard unsportsmanlike Connolly after a third down sack that would have forced Indy to punt. It ended up being the difference in the game.
Yeah, abusive. I wouldn't like that call in a high school game. Go to the local high school. I wouldn't like that call. Forget it in the NFL. I mean, come on, guys. We got one game left here. And Teddy, last thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you saw the 2-point conversion by the Buccaneers at the end, but they took that delay of game, Tom Brady. It was almost like, what the heck's going on here? That was a huge miscue. It's almost like alarm bells. What's going on there with the Tampa Bay Bucks? Not sure if you had anything on that, and I'll set you up here. LA Rams. Okay, go ahead.
Just this last thing. I mean, Brady missed half a training camp. He retired in the offseason and came back. There's all kinds of rumors swirling about what's going on behind the scenes. Their offensive line is banged up. Their receiving core is banged up. They have a new head coach. There are issues with Tampa right now. Big issues. Yeah. They're a team I've been downgrading week after week.
Yeah, well said, Teddy. Guys, last game here, LA Rams, San Francisco 49ers, Monday Night Football. This is next Monday night. Huge move I'm seeing on the Wager Talk Live odds screen here, Teddy, on the under. Open 48 is what I'm seeing. Now we're seeing 43s, -2.5, pretty much across the board. There is a -3 out there. That's the 49ers at home next Monday night, Teddy.
And I mean, a lot of times when you look at the Wager Talk Live odds screen, which is great, okay, fantastic free product you can use all day, every day. And I have it on my, I have one of my screens on all the time. I never take that screen off. But one of the things that you sometimes have concerns with is what the opener is. The look-ahead line was 48, and that's what I think they're using as openers right now. San Fran 1-48. There were 47s last night. And I'm seeing 42.5 this morning. Total, my powering number is 1. The look-ahead number was 1. And the markets are at 2.5. And everyone seems to like San Fran. We are seeing 49ers money. We are seeing under money. They both come in fairly heavy this morning. I don't know that it gets to 3, though. And the under money's already come. When it was 48, 47, and now we're 42.5. The emergency betting alert is come and gone. San Francisco loses Trent Williams. I don't know how serious the injury is, but that's an elite injured left tackle. They don't have good options behind them, and all 3 interior spots on the offensive line are still works in progress. So this is now a backup quarterback in San Francisco with a really banged up offensive line. That being said, Russell Wilson, that's a Super Bowl caliber football team on the other side. And Garoppolo, remember, he had an awkward training camp where he threw on his own on a side field, didn't even go to the meetings while the rest of the Niners were preparing for the season. San Fran, their coordinator, remember McDaniel was their coordinator. He's in Miami now. So it's not like they're running the same offense. It's not like he got rhythm with it. And if you watch Jimmy G last night, he looks as bad as, I can't believe San Fran's taking money. I don't know what the deal is with LA. Oh, and by the way, here's the other quote from Jimmy. We were terrible today. I got to get on the same page with these guys. We have to convert those. yada, yada. He's also got a sore right arm. Oh, yeah, my arm is feeling it right now. I didn't really go through training camp. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything, but I've just got to get in game shape and get rolling. That's not a bet on quote. The defense held Denver to 3.7 yards per play, but -3 in turnovers. The Rams, Stafford, 10 yards per pass attempt at 7.4 to 4.5 yards per play edge. It was a really strange game. The Rams controlled it, and yet they didn't put the game away. John McVay, there are no style points, but there are ways to play even more complete games. That's what we're hunting. I'm surprised at this line move. My power rating doesn't show it. The look at line doesn't show it. I don't know why the markets are showing it. At 3, I'll probably be a buyer on the Rams. I'm not sure that we see a 3 just yet for this one.
He's Teddy Covers. I'm Drew Martin. NFL Opening Line Report each and every Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Guys, please smash that like button if you're liking the content. Also, feel free to comment below. Any questions, throw them out there. We'll try to answer them on next week's show. Let us know what you're looking to bet, where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome in the reply section. Guys, check out Teddy Covers, wagertalksportsmemo.com. #1 handicapper, net profit since February 1st. Guys, that's every play since February, 226, 157, 59%, up over 200% ROI, 10-2, 83% run in the NFL. Teddy, any closing thoughts here before we shut this down?
I'm seeing things pretty clearly right now, Drew, in the NFL. The NFL's gotten off to a great start, 38-19 across sports, dating back to August. We're making money for clients right now. So if you're interested, not a bad time to get on board. Weekly, monthly, or seasonal rates available. And, of course, I am in action on Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football this week. Get those plays just $9 a pop on $9 Monday over at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com. All that being said, thank you so much. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We really appreciate Dan and Chris behind the scenes getting us back on air. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the games this week.
Dan Alexander in the producer's role. I'm Drew Martin. Teddy Covers. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Smash that like button. Feel free to reply below. Huge shout out to the chat box. Best of luck with your bets. We'll be back next Monday.
You're a winner at Wager Talk even before the game is played with our Wager Rewards program. How does it work? Simple. Earn wager rewards on every purchase made at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Those wager rewards can be converted into wager bucks on the first of every month. There is no additional fee to participate, and no additional details are required outside your valid Wager Talk or Sports Memo membership. On the first of each month, 5% of your wager rewards will be converted to wager bucks, which are available to purchase on all future purchases. Doesn't it feel good to be part of a rewards program with no additional hoops?